Hi, Dad. I know you like watching my animations, so I made this one for you. Yes, you. Oh, and feel free to share this with your friends so that they know that you have a plan to follow made by yours truly, your daughter. Now, let's take a look at your profile. You are 51 years old, you are male. You are 171 millimeters and 74 kilograms, but your weight goal is 68 kilograms. So this is a weight loss of 6 kilograms, right? That means 2 kilograms lost per month, which means 500 grams lost per week. 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories, and 500 grams equals to about 1 pound. Well, almost, since 1 pound equals to 0.45 kilograms, but not 0.5 kilograms. But let's be flexible here. So, anyways, this equals to 3,500 calories down from your usual calorie intake per week, which means 500 calories down from your daily calorie intake. Let's take a look at the science of weight loss. Although it sounds like it's going to be super complicated, it's simple actually. It's basically your caloric intake minus your caloric outtake. Your daily caloric need is 1871 according to my calculations, but you currently consume 2181 calories per day. This is in excess of 310 calories. But no worries, if you just lower your caloric intake minus outtake by 500 calories, you will lose 6 kilograms in 3 months, no doubt. But wait, I know you're shouting. Why would you ever put yourself through such a tormenting period of your life just to lose some weight for your daughter's summative project? If the stress of your friends' disapproval and feeling your daughter the client of her summative project isn't enough to keep you motivated, rest assured I have something in mind. Now, where would you think you fit in the obesity scale? Underweight, normal, overweight, obese, or extremely obese? Well, I was quite surprised to find that with your body mass index of 25.31, you scored as obese. If you haven't registered this yet, I repeat, you are obese. This is a red alert both for your health and for me who have to take care of you once you're old and dependent on me. According to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, the health risks linked with obesity are type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, fatty liver disease, kidney disease, stroke, heart disease and stroke, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, and cancer. Freaking cancer! With unclear reason. You could literally die! Not only that, but your stomach also stands out from your body, no pun intended. But you may have also noticed that it's very hard to actually pinch the fat of your stomach, and that it's very firm. This is what is known as visceral fat, which lies under the abdominal wall and so cannot be touched. Look at it. It's basically one with your organs. That is disgusting. According to the Harvard Medical School and Medical News Today, the causes for visceral fat may come down to sedentary lifestyle, old age, and high-fat diet. Now, if you're not horrified by now, I have more for you. The risks of having excess visceral fat are heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, heart attack, cancer, again, and Alzheimer's or dementia. Imagine you not being able to recognize my face or remember that I'm your daughter. How sad is that? There, don't cry. We all know how much you love me and want to remember me. Thankfully, there are things you can do. Exercise, such as walking or running, de-stressing, and a healthy diet consisting of proteins, fruits, vegetables, and complex carbs will help in the destruction of visceral fat. When it comes to weight loss, there are ultimately two ways: exercise and diet. You've mentioned in our interview that you would like to achieve your goal through 40% of exercise and 60% of a diet, so you will be losing 300 calories from your current diet and exercise to burn 200 calories more than usual. First, with your exercise plan. Based on your responses to my questions, I have collected some data. Low impact, easy, and indoors. I know that you live in an apartment, so I was able to deduce that you will need an exercise that will be noiseless and equipment-free. I also know you have a back pain, so I specifically chose workouts that didn't put too much pressure on your back, so don't worry. You also replied that you prefer doing cardio and stretching rather than muscle training and other sorts. So here I present to you your two categories of exercises: cardio and stretching. Cardio or cardiovascular endurance workouts will strengthen your heart and work your entire body. Stretching, on the other hand, will help with your back pain, which I know you are struggling with, relieve stress, and improve your posture. First, for cardio, you will be walking indoors in your apartment for 20 minutes every day. To burn enough calories, you will need to trot lightly or power walk. Walking 5 miles per hour will burn 188 calories in 20 minutes, which is just perfect. Oh, and here's the cool stuff. Psst. I know you're a nerd too, Dad. I know you'll be interested in this. You walking around in your apartment will be an example of motion affecting temperature. I assume you're watching this sitting or standing still. Feel your body warmth, unless you're in a hot place. Pretty cool, right? But now, get up and run a bit. Yes, go on. You'll slowly feel your body temperature rising and rising until you're sweating. This is because the more atoms are vibrating or moving, the more heat and energy it produces. Since you are moving your body or using kinetic energy, your body temperature is rising. Thus, motion is directly linked with temperature. Even cooler than that, when the temperature of your body rises, you are actively giving off energy. Think about that. You're currently giving off energy, like a light bulb. Well, not exactly like a light bulb, but like a light bulb. This is why exercising is one of the ways you can lose weight, because it gives off the energy that you took in during your meals. Calories are energy, and now you are giving off that energy. Now the air around you has absorbed that energy, and as you cool down, the air around you gets hotter since it has taken in your heat and energy. But wait, worried that it'll be too boring for you to just walk around? Don't worry, you have your Sphero. When you activate the program that I gave you, your Sphero will walk around with you to entertain you with Matrix animation and by occasionally playing cool music. Aw, isn't that cute? Not only that, but it'll also help give you an idea of how fast you should be going so that you don't get lazy and just languidly walk, in which case this exercise plan won't work at all for you. Don't blame me if that's the case. In the course of 10 minutes, you will be completing 2 stretches, 5 minutes each. One is the Cobra, cool name, haha, and the other is bending side to side, not so cool name. Each burns 176 calories per hour, which means that it'll burn 15 calories per 5 minutes or 30 in total. Both are low impact with minimum flexibility requirement, and both are great for stomach fat loss and back pain. Just be careful with the Cobra and immediately stop when you feel too much pain in your back. At that point, call me up and I'll explain to you what to do. More fun stuff. This time it's math. Let's establish the variables, shall we? X will equal the time for cardio and Y will equal the time for stretching. X plus Y will be 30 minutes as we've established earlier. Because there is an equal sign instead of an inequality, both sides of the equation represents the total time for you to complete the exercise plan. If it represents something different, it will not be an equation. But even with this limitation, X and Y can be literally anything. So we need another equation for us to figure out the exact solution that I have set up for you. The next equation shows the total burned calories. Now as 30 plus 188 is 218, so the right side of the equation will be 218. X and Y still represent the same thing as before, so the coefficients to these variables will change at all. The coefficients will be calories burned in a unit of time, or 1 minute. Dividing the calories by the number of minutes, we get the unit rate, and we can plug this into the equation. Same as before, this is an equation, so both sides of the equation will represent the same information, which in this case is the total calories burned through these 2 exercises. First, we can use the combination/elimination method to figure out X and Y. The easiest way for us to eliminate one variable is to multiply the entire first equation by 3 so that Y becomes 3Y, by which we can subtract from the second equation and get rid of that Y. This gives us 6.4x equals 188. When we single out x, we get 128 over 6.4, which is 20 or 20 minutes, just like my plan. Now we've only got to plug in x into one of the equations to solve y. The easiest way is to use the first equation, 20 plus y equals 30, and if we single out y, it's y equals 10. But let's check it out with our own eyes, yeah? This is a Cartesian plane. Here, we can graph our system. And oh look, we have a solution, and it's exactly what we discovered earlier. The solution's x and y coordinate, which is the minutes spent on each exercise, which is 20 for x and 10 for y. We also realized that there are various areas on this graph. There are 2 valuable areas of interest, here and here. The blue area represents the system y is smaller than negative 9.4 over 3x, plus 218 over 3, and y is smaller than negative x plus 30. The green area has the same coefficients and variables, but with opposite inequality signs from before. So what does this mean? Well, the blue area represents where y is smaller than to both of the linear graphs, meaning where you exercise for less time than I've suggested and burn fewer calories as a result. The green area is basically the same thing. It represents the calories you burn if you exercise more than I've suggested. You need to avoid going over to the blue area and try to either just follow my system of linear equations or even better yet, fall into the green area. The rest of the areas show how your calories burned will differ if you put more time into a certain exercise. For instance, stretching burns less calories, and the yellow area represents how if you do more stretching than running, you will burn less calories than your goal. The red area shows how if you do more running than stretching, you will burn more calories than your goal. Again, the second example is the better option for you. That's all well and swell, but what do all these numbers and complicated looking graphs actually mean anyway? No worries. You know how when you're baking a cake, you need to bake it for a certain time lest it will be too mushy or too burnt? The first equation is just like that. The function represents that while you have a total baking time required to get the cake baked just right, you can divide up the baking time however you like, move to a bigger, hotter oven or something, just so long as you fulfill the total baking time required, which is 30 minutes in this case. But wait, every cake has a different goal. Some cakes like to be on the softer side, while some cakes like to be on the firmer side. So, to know how much time we need to bake in the weak oven versus the time we need to bake in the strong oven, we have the second function. This particular function represents how firm or soft we would like the cake to be. So if the weaker oven hardens it this much and the stronger oven hardens it that much, the cake will be this soft or firm. Taking this into consideration, you can figure out just how much time you should bake in each oven to get the consistency that you want in your cake. Happy baking! So, now you've effectively burned 218 calories. Hooray! But we're not done. The diet. From the interview, I've gathered your daily caloric intake. Your breakfast is 529 calories, lunch is 770, your dinner 529, and your snack 353. From this, we can clearly see that a lot of your daily caloric intake comes from snacks. And it doesn't help that all of your snacks are consumed late at night, after dinner, probably right before you sleep. All that calories right before you go into a period where you lie down still for 8 hours is bound to be stored right as fat and only help in indigestion and bloating. Not to mention, your daily caloric intake exceeds your daily caloric needs. However, once you lower your current intake by 300 calories as established earlier, coupled with your exercise plan, you will lose 500 grams per week, 2 kilograms per month, and 6 kilograms in total if you keep it up for 3 months. But before we move on to your diet plan, another nerdy time! Remember how we talked about the connection between temperature and matter in the exercise section? This is exactly how scientists measure calories in food too. They burn stuff up. This is because the definition of a calorie is the energy it takes to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree Celsius. Scientists can find out how much calories there are in a piece of food by burning it up and measuring the temperature change in the water right above it. In other words, they're measuring the calorie or energy absorbed by the water. I actually had an experimentation in class about this, and we burned up some chips to measure the calories. Here's how it goes. First, we measure the mass and temperature of the water. Then, with the water placed above the food, we burn the food. After it's done going up in flames, we measure the temperature of the water again. Then, using this data in this calorimetry formula, we can plug in the information we collected through our experiments to calculate the calories in a piece of food. More than that, in science, there's this concept of conservation of energy. This means that, literally, energy will be conserved. Well, to explain it in more depth, it means that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So all the energy we see around us and the energy that we have is either transferred or transformed from some other matter. This means that, when we trace it back, all the energy on Earth are originally from the sun, meaning that the energy that you have to move right now or the energy of food you consume are literally from the sun. Think about that. You are eating the sun. Well, kinda. Now, time to see what kind of sun you'll be eating in order to lose that persistent 6 kilograms. I know that you live alone and have a lot of work, so I was able to deduce that you are most likely couldn't be bothered to cook something or go out of your way to eat healthily. I devised a diet plan entirely from the things you can literally buy to go from markets and shops. If you don't follow this plan, now we all know that it's just from your laziness, not my consideration. Anyways, for breakfast, much will be the same as before. You will eat multigrain rice, black beans, kimchi, and an egg. But oh wait, there's one different thing here. A fillet of salmon. I know you don't particularly love fish, but I do know that fish is essential for your health and that you're at least okay with salmon. That's all I need. Anyways, the multigrain rice will fill up your complex and good carb needs. The black beans are great for your heart, and Korean kimchi is one of the best foods out there for your health that also tastes good, and everybody knows it. Eggs also have an intense level of protein, which is essential for you. Salmon is great for weight loss, providing fats that are good for you and reducing the risk of heart diseases. On to the next meal, which is lunch. I know you love bibimbap, so it's just that. Although I've written raw meat or yukhae bibimbap so that you can fill up the meat section of the dietary plan, you can practically choose any kind of bibimbap. Bibimbap is a great way to take in diverse and nutritious Korean vegetables in a delicious way, and best of all, it's also incredibly filling. For dinner, you'll pretty much have the exact same meal as breakfast, as I know that you usually come home for dinner. However, instead of eating salmon, you'll eat 6 pieces of sun-dried tomatoes. I know you don't love tomatoes, but trust me, they're absolutely delicious and are also packed with beneficial nutrients. It's also proven that sun-dried tomatoes help in reducing risk for certain types of cancer. Now is the part that filled up a lot of your daily calorie consumption. Although all of those snacks were technically healthy, consuming that much of anything right before bedtime probably isn't the best for you. But I also know that you have a weak digestive system, so I chose a healthy probiotic faux food, Greek yogurt. If you eat it with a couple of blueberries, not only is the calorie surprisingly low, but it's also great for reducing hunger, boosting your metabolism, the thing that makes you burn more calories even when you're not doing anything, building muscle, and also helping your digestive system. This will amount to the daily calorie consumption of 1,881 calories per day, which is exactly 300 calories less from your current diet. Notice that most of the main meals are very similar to your current diet, which means that almost all of those calories were subtracted by reducing your snack consumption. Something to think about. Here's the weekly meal plan I planned for you, with all the calories listed and each component is written in English as well as Korean. You can rotate the meal plan around during the week, and if you keep to the diet for the 3 months of the wellness program, you have nothing to worry about. Now you have everything you need to lose 6 kilograms and achieve your dream weight of 68 kilograms in 3 months. Keep in mind, the human body is complicated and different from one another, so don't stress too much if you're keeping up with the plan but aren't losing enough weight. However, it is guaranteed that you'll lose at least 6 kilograms in 3 months, granted that you are very consistent with the plan and is enthusiastic in keeping it up. Good luck!